I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, where you're on point with your goals and you're staying on point with whether it's your nutrition or your routines, your rituals, and then you find yourself the chaos of life taken away and then you're not as planned. Well, what I've learned is that, hey, so I was speaking with a client earlier this week, and this client has made massive strides in his results, lost a lot of weight, his energy levels are through the roof, and he's been really on point with his habits and stuff. And just recently, he said the last few weeks, though, have been just crazy, right? From work to home to events. And he said he found himself back in an old pattern that he remembered before coming to work with me. And he said, man, Logan, like with life constantly being so busy, I find myself, when I come home from work after a long day, like just grabbing whatever, right? Grabbing whatever kind of food, or if I'm in the office, I'm just grabbing whatever food. And what he realized and what he shared, he's like, I realized the last few weeks I have not been as prepared, right? And I asked him, knowing that life continues to get in the way, right? And life will never stop, right? Because that's just the way it is. There's never just this perfect moment of long streak. Like, yeah, there's more times sometimes better than others, but I said, what about like, if life continues, which it will, how are you going to adjust things and make sure that you can, get out of this? And he said, man, it's just coming down to planning accordingly. He said, when I was planning accordingly before all this recent chaos, like I had everything that I needed at the office, I had everything I needed at the home front. So even when things were chaotic, things were still more controlled and I was on point with my goals, right? And so he said to plan accordingly. And listen, I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, right? Where you're on point with maybe your goals and you're staying on point with whether it's your nutrition or your routines, your rituals, and then you find yourself the chaos of life taken away and then you're not as planned. Well, what I've learned is that if we do not have things and everything set up around us to win and things planned out, our default is struggle, right? We're automatically struggle. We will turn to whatever food is just there. We will not hit, if we don't have things laid out in terms of like in the morning routines are big for my guys. Have workout clothes ready to go. Guess what? Probably going to hit snooze. Probably going to go right into work. Right? These things aren't there. So think of it like this. It's like going on a road trip without a GPS or old school, like having a map, right? And let's say if you don't have that and you hit an unexpected detour or a roadblock, well, you just end up lost. You're spending more time trying to get back to, the path that you were on instead of just staying on that path and enjoying the ride and getting straight to your destination. Yeah? So listen, if you look at it and how you apply this, like look at it this way. Like, so for example, if you find yourself, wanting to get your health in order and want to stay on point with your routines, I always share with my clients and say, hey, if you can find it in yourself, how can you prepare accordingly for the week ahead, right? If you know you're going to have a busy week, know your triggers, right? Because environments trigger behavior. So if you know that having a bunch of junk food sitting in front of you when you come home is going to, after a stressful day, well, then mitigate that accordingly. Talk to whoever in the household, make sure that they're on point with it as well, right? Have things ready to go for you. If you're going on business trip or whatever, have things in your briefcase or whatever, right? Things that are going to align with you and be on point in terms of nutrition, whatever it is, so that you can stay on point as best as possible. It's not about being perfect. It's about being more prepared for success instead of just kind of winging it and living life on your heels, which only causes you to be in reaction mode and then just causes you to be on this ever-ending cycle of, hey, you're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, it's constantly progressing, and then all of a sudden regressing. So to get out of that, prepare accordingly.